Morning Orlando. Yeah, from what you can see on the windows, that has been this entire trip.
It blows.
It blows. It blows. Nick and I are at the hotel right now. It is Saturday. Yesterday we did kind of just have warm-ups and everything. It was kind of qualifying to get into the top 32 today. Fortunately, we didn't have to qualify to get in the top 32. We already were, so we were able to kind of shake down the car a couple times, work on a few things, which I'll elaborate on with Nick here in a little bit at the track. But today, like I said, top 32, we're kind of just getting our stuff put together, and then we'll be headed to the track. And then in less than 24 hours, we are also going to be leaving and already going back home. So it's a quick one, but it's a good one. So
Florida is ridiculous, goddammit. Florida, Florida is ridiculous. Y'all can keep this crap. I ain't doing this no more.
No
This
more.
is ridiculous. I'm sticking to the northwest, to the west side.
We're leaving.
Yeah, we're leaving. Bye.
On today's episode of Is Jeff Gonna Wake Up?
Hello.
Please leave your
That's
message
voicemail.
for
Hello.
Wow. Okay. We gotta go get him. We gotta go get him. Hold up. Here's Jeff's room. Wakey, dude. That man is done for. Oh, gosh. Okay. Now, we'll see you guys either in the car, going to Wawa's, and at the track. All right.
Well, we are back, as some would say, and call this place the armpit of the United States. It is gross, it is hot, it is disgusting, but we are in Florida. This is round 3 of Formula Drift, Orlando, and again, we're here with our friend Ken. As it stands right now, our boy is in the show. He's going to be top 16 out there, Umbrella Girl, champagne, everything, caviar going on, but we did go up against Jonathan Hurst in top 32, which Ken did a superb job as always. Yep. And Justin will plug an edit for you right now. Check it.
Ken Gucci throwing it up, so my eyes can see. West side.
So let's see. I mean, when we're talking about it, so I mean, yeah, Ken gets into the first outside zone a little bit sooner. The chases look pretty comparable through this section of the run. Now, in this part in the chase, that's where Cash makes a bit of a mistake, and we don't see it really from Gucci. And then the leads to the second outside zone are pretty comparable, but Hurst ends up getting a bit more proximity, I would say, a better line and angle. So really, really tough call on this one. Once again, I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing. This is why I'm happy that
Well,
I'm
this
not a
is
judge.
where we need to keep it vanilla.
Yeah.
Right? We're kind of factually observing, and that doesn't sway, obviously, the judges. And I have the needle going one way or the other.
Okay,
I
that's
do.
fair.
I
Okay.
do, but I keep it to myself, and there it is. And that's oh, look at that. So 2 and 1.
Yep.
And I thought it was gonna be.
And now we're going to be going up against the Toyota teammate, Jonathan Castro. And let's cheer our boy on and get it. Yeah.
I know we just kind of jumped right into this one. It's already day 2, like we mentioned earlier. Kind of just briefly going over up to where we've been to from between us arriving and now. Didn't do any filming when we landed, but absolutely. One of the first things we did though,
Bro,
was crush on some gator. Which
it was pretty good. It was pretty good, not going to lie. It's a little rubbery, but, you know.
little rubbery
Dude,
chicken. Rubbery chicken.
It is so hot right now.
I know, it's pretty uncomfortable. Something else I will mention is yesterday we actually had to drop the transmission on Ken's car, swap that out, but since I'm not as mechanically inclined as some individuals.
Hey, man. We aight.
Well, no, so what ended up happening though? Oh my God.
God damn. As far as Ken pulling off the track, he noticed there's a little bit of a vibration coming from the drivetrain. And as soon as he pulled in, Jeff started to get his little sticky fingers out and basically kind of diagnosed that there's something going on with the transmission. Basically spent a couple hours, nice and easy, nothing rushing. Yanked the gearbox out and kind of, Jeff and I worked together to like verify that. Kind of seemed like it was a bearing issue on the main input shaft on the gearbox. And so at that point we grabbed a spare transmission, swapped the sensors and some of the other things needed off the other trans, and then stuck it back in, and sure enough, that was the fix.
Perfect. All right, now that you guys are mostly caught up to speed with everything up to this point, something I will mention though is a little different about this round from what I've learned and been told is that most other rounds, like the last two, the hot pits and the paddock are two completely different areas, and because of kind of how like close the proximity is here, it's actually all just in one. And the drivers kind of just hop out and then they sit right queued up in line, ready to go on the track. We're just gonna kind of walk the paddock and kind of see what cars, what vendors are here, see if we find anything cool, and yeah, we'll see what we can find.
I don't know. There's not much. Like just like Justin was saying, like because everything's squished together, they don't have like a car show area, and they don't have just a competition area. And, like everything's smushed into one. It's just kind of a small venue. That's why I kind of like Seattle and then Long Beach. Irwindale was also RIP. Again, pour one out for the homies. Like they used to have stuff like that, you know. And here it's a little bit more condensed. Not as much stuff, but you do have some stuff here and there. I don't know. I'm personally not into Euro stuff, but we do have friends, and there are a lot of people that do like this stuff. So a little bit of a different way to build a car and for a different purpose. And I mean, you know, it has its own place. And I definitely like the fact that even this person's part of the automotive community, you know?
Look. How you feel about it? I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
They're gonna read it, okay?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Ew. Ew. That's kind of
it
me.
is. So I knew it. See, I had a feeling. I was wondering if this was a 326 Power Wing, and it's just like from that silhouette and these like end plates. That's very 326 looking. I mean, I personally, I kind of agree with Nico. This isn't really my cup of tea, but something I will appreciate are people that try to do a JDM spin on Euro cars, which I will kind of take a jab. Brett.
Hey, I don't know why he's picking on you, Brett. Hey, you let him know, boy. You let him know next time. But then there's, you know, you get the little Japanese flavor. You get the new 400Z. I don't even like it. And I like Japanese cars, and I don't even like it. But you know, they're trying. They're trying.
Yeah, they're trying. I appreciate the single exit. What
I do really like about the car, like taillights. This is very like 300ZX spin on a new whip. But you know, it is actually nice to be able to get more variety of car rather than the same thing for the past like 15 years. You know, unfortunately, they've been regurgitating the GTR for the past 15 years, so it's, I don't know, do something new. And I guess this is something new. It's built off of a 370Z platform, so at least it looks good. It's like a 370Z with a facelift.
Yeah.
I guess a better motor too, maybe. Yeah. It's turbocharged.
Speaking of looking good, this M2, I actually like this. The M2 is probably like out of the whole new like M2, M3 line, I would say the M2 has grown on me the most. Like,
I like them. They're not bad.
I like the color. It looks good.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
Plug the Instagram.
Yeah, it's AJRZ34. I mean, we got rap from Tech Rap, Turquoise. We got the BC coilovers. I want to figure out what engine wheels, AMS intakes, full titanium, catback exhaust, Tome. So
Nice.
got it so far.
No, sick. All right, no, thank you.
Low key, I kind of take that back. I didn't know it was a girl car. Hey, that's actually tight. Hey, you know, there's like, it's weird. It's like a little sexism, right? Even towards dudes. Yeah, I like dudes. Dudes are cool.
Pause.
You know, not like that, but you know,
right.
But it's cool. Like it's actually really cool to see like girls do this stuff because I don't know, it's fun.
I wouldn't
have
guessed.
and like I wouldn't have guessed either. You know, but I maybe by the color choice. But then again, you know, Brett might.
Yeah.
This is a Brett thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to this thing. I mean, honestly, I don't know much about them. I know they're cool. They got turbos and stuff, and they make good power. And everybody always tries to make them 1,000 horsepower street cars, and then they crash the shit out of them. And but they're not bad.
Speaking of Porsches,
Yeah, I know, right?
I think this is what we really wanted to see over here.
So this is something that was built by Chelsea Denelfa, and he's a ex-pro FD driver, and he's been drifting for the longest time. A little bit. I think he's even started right around the same time I did, way back when. And he's been developing this. I don't even know what the heck this is. I think this is 918 or something. But anyways, developed it for drifting, and we can maybe find some clips of him from his own Instagram driving this thing. And this thing throws down. Like, it's actually pretty sick. They have to do, if I remember correctly, they have to do quite a bit to make it actually slide. So a bunch of custom-made parts here and there, and because nothing's made for these to be able to do what we do with cars, right? So, and in the same fashion, this is something that he built, which is a Fox body Mustang a little while ago. But one of the cool things about it, it runs a 2.4, if I'm not mistaken, EcoBoost.
That is crazy.
And what's cool, the EcoBoost, it comes out of like the newer Mustangs, and they come in other vehicles, like Ford vehicles as well. Kind of a cool little plug for some of my old friends is I used to drive with one of them back in like Pro-Am days. Him and his brother, Matt and Mark Paddock, they own Paddock Made, and they work alongside Link Products, making like swap kits and jumper harnesses. They help basically do this swap, the EcoBoost swap, and along other products as well, more accessible to people, and you can almost do like a plug and play kind of kit for almost any car. And so if you guys want, if that's a new power plant that you would like to try, it's kind of sick, go check them out. This thing shreds. He did I think he drove this in Appalachia, one of the events where they're up in the mountains. Dude, this thing, oh, I like it a lot.
And then you guys will kind of see here in the next couple minutes, we're getting ready to kind of go into the break time, cool down period between top 32 and top 16. So the foot traffic is going to get a little chaotic, but we're just going to keep on charging through.
You know what's crazy is that we're literally walking right now, and the sun is beaming down, and the feeling I get is I don't know if you guys ever been in a sauna. Like, it is that hot, and it's not like a wet sauna, it's a dry sauna, and it is that goddamn hot. It feels like it's 180 degrees right now.
And then if you blink, it starts typhoon raining sideways. What do we got over here, huh?
No, it's just
Nitto?
one of the tire sponsors that, you know, there's not a lot of tire manufacturers, right? Especially in something like drifting. Yeah, they have been supporters of Formula Drift for quite a while. Falcon rolled with Formula D since almost like day one, but they dropped out and stopped working with drivers for Formula Drift or supporting any Formula Drift guys. But Nitto stepped in quite, I think, a little bit after Falcon started, and now they've kind of solidified themselves, especially working with the RTR team and the Mustangs. I mean, those things kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah, and which, if you haven't already, our previous vlog back from FD Georgia, you actually got to see T-Pain's review. So if you haven't checked out that vlog, make sure, take a moment, step back, watch it so you kind of get caught up with the latest and greatest with us here.
RTR cars too, they're like some of the most popular ones too. Like, bro, people are just like swarming. But at the same time, if you look behind you, they're swarming over there too. This is like, and this is, what's weird to me is that like the perspective, right? Like I have a different perspective with this stuff than other people would. I've been doing this stuff for so long that to me it's like, oh, you know, it's just drifting. Oh, it's just drift cars. But people who are not into this kind of stuff, to them, this is like, this is better than monster trucks. Right. You know, like to me, monster trucks are still like, damn, you know, this shit's kind of tight, especially the tricks that they do. But this is just on a different level. And these, you know, they kind of grew on me.
I agree.
Dude, it's like wheels make a car. I'm not saying that these fit the car, but you can make them look good. Oi, Kaicho. Hey, you look a little hot. What's up, man? I heard you didn't bolt the wheel on, so like something happened.
I don't know. I think I forgot hiding the tension rod.
How's he
I had
doing?
the two-stroke oil in the fuel.
How's he doing? Pretty good?
We lost.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. But he always win.
Yeah, he won.
Bro, this
And now
kid,
he's gonna do the Avengers.
bro, he's avenging the world, dog. So, the gentleman I was talking to, his name is June. He's been around for quite a while. So, he used to work at Intech Racing. They're up in Washington. They've been a shop since like early 2000s when I got my education in automotive stuff. But he is also working with 326 Power. So, he actually is responsible for 326 Power USA. He works with 326 Japan, which is ran by Haraguchi, and they like that, bro. But Haraguchi used to have this really, really iconic RX-7 FC BN Sport Yellow FC way back when I about same time that Kaguchi was driving. It's very iconic, and so him being around for so long, he gets to work all over pretty much the world, and helps out a lot of Japanese drivers as well. Jun's been around for a hot minute, and yeah, now when Daigo comes here and he's helping run his program, and I don't know exactly what he does for him. I'm pretty sure besides just translating, he's also like a spotter and stuff like that. So, and whenever obviously you need to translate something into Japanese, the boy is fluent. Yeah, and just chatting with Jun, basically, I didn't get to watch the runs, but I guess Daigo got eliminated. Now they're part of a team under Jerry Yang Racing, and since he got eliminated, now they get to support Hiro Minoa, who is an absolute freaking monster. That kid, holy cow, man.
No, and something else that's really cool about him and his car, I was kind of like overhearing a side conversation, was the motor in that is from an R35 GTR.
Yeah,
Like,
they're both.
that is so sick.
Both those cars, they run VR38s, which come in the GTR, and they're like massively expensive. A lot of people run the 2JZ because of the cost effectiveness of things, but it's. I mean, all of this stuff is expensive. Like any of these cars, like the least expensive one's probably like 150 grand, you know? So everything, most of these cars, especially like the RTR Mustangs, those things are like $250,000 easy. You know, so getting into this is like one thing I kind of dislike about where drifting went is it's expensive. It's very expensive. It takes so much for people to be able to get into it. Before, like when I was driving, I mean, shit, I was 24 years old, 25 years old. I was making like $19 an hour and getting into Formula D because it was like fairly accessible. And horsepower levels weren't anything crazy. Everything was like 400, maybe 500 horsepower at most. But now, I mean, if you build a car that has to handle 1,000 horsepower, that's a lot. That's a lot. And so it's not just the motor, it's not just the transmission. Literally everything in the car has to be able to handle that. Most of the cars nowadays, they're turned up to 11, like all the time. And so your suspension has to be up to par, tires. I mean, even talking to Ken, and I know that, you know, tire pressures get dropped quite low, dude, they mark the tire and the tire and the wheel. There's a chalk mark, and it always moves, and you don't know if it's moving 6 inches over or if it's going around and then over. So there's so much grip on these damn cars. So I don't know. I almost don't like that. Like bring back some old school drifting, but I get it. This is like natural progression of a sport. I don't know. I feel a little bit weird about it, but like to somebody like Justin or you guys that are watching, you know, this may be exciting. To me, it's like, I don't know. It's more of a pain in the ass. So, but I still would like to do it. I don't know why. Maybe not here, but maybe somewhere else in the world. It'd be pretty sick. Man, it's so goddamn hot. I think we're gonna go head back because your boy ain't trying to get a heat stroke right now.
Get stroked by the heat.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like blistering hot out. So we're gonna head back to the trailer. We're gonna chill out for just a little bit. We got Top 16 coming up here shortly, which I'll try to cover some stuff trackside for you. And if anything, you guys will see an edit from Top 16, and then we will do a follow-up with you guys. So enjoy the visuals from Top 16.
Just beyond the banners, and really sitting number one. This
Yeah, it does. It gets harder and harder to chase in these conditions, but you nailed it right there. I mean, Gucci took a minute to get up to the bank. Castro then follows him up there. Does a really good job of mirroring. Tries to make a little bit of a move there. You can see it. And then Gucci, big swing there. The way he transitions out, I mean, he uses every bit of track that he can. Really loads the car up, gets everything swung around, and then it does take Castro a second, right, to get into the pocket by the end of the run. But very, very similar from both drivers. I mean, very similar leads, very similar chases. You know, similar cars, similar engine. It's and honestly, two similar people. They're both very chill, but like they've got the experience. Great guys. So
chill, international, but very well spoken, good spokespeople, all of it. Yep,
yeah.
Right.
So Castro on the lead in the left, Gucci in the lead on the right. But man, you can now really tell how similar these runs are. Even the way they transition out, it looks like Castro gets pulled away a little bit on his chase, but I mean, comparing them, I would say Gucci just gains proximity maybe a touch earlier in his chase, and that's kind of the only spot that I saw. So this is what the map looks like. We got our 3-2-1 initiations at the beginning, and that's our big outside zone to the left. You see OZ1. Then coming through inside clip, they got to put one tire through that. And that red section, that is the momentum change. That is where they're allowed to kind of slow the car, check the car up just a bit. Allows every driver to know that it could happen in that area. Then we get to inside clip 2, and then into that second outside zone on the lower part of the bank where the bank meets the flat. You kind of want to go right in that section.
And that momentum zone is there for reference. Not to say that, basically, previous season we've called it decel zone, but don't want to scare anybody because ideally you have momentum all the way through one more time and one more time. And look at that Castro. So there it is. Looks like Reese went to one more time previously. So Robbie and Brian are just on the same wavelength.
Gets everything swung around, and then it does take Castro a second right to get into the pocket by the end of the run, but very, very similar from both drivers. Very similar leads, very similar chases. Similar cars, similar engines.
Like I said, that transition, David Copperfield, where are you? Burt Wonderstone.
Oh my gosh, just absolutely times it perfect. Castro just absolutely in there, just bunked up next to him through the entire part of that zone. And then through this transition, another one pops through the smoke, and then Castro gets into the side of Gucci. Now, the question is, was Gucci already shutting it down before Castro got in the side of him, or did Castro cause that collision? You're thinking about it too. We're going to need to see this a few times.
I saw that overhead was a telling. This is video game angle. I love this angle. It's really cool, but watch.
Rain on the front. God, it just turns. I'm going to go out on a limb here now.
Hold that thought. hold that thought, because I don't want you, again, buses are everywhere, and we don't want to go under them. Let's look at that overhead again before you say anything, okay?
Okay.
Because I really think that's it. This is good, because you're seeing those green momentum lights. What are the momentum lights, Jacob?
If it's green, it means they're going. If it's yellow, they're not changing speed. Red means they're decel, and I don't know.
Green, you do know. The green was going.
I know.
We saw blue, which essentially you're
means
coming to neutral, right? Yeah. It's on, but you're coming to neutral. And look at that. We're seeing Gucci and Castro out of their car, center track. Heads are shaking, they're nodding. I don't know, bro. What's going on? I'm sorry. You should have slowed down. Why'd you slow down? Gucci's talking. No, keep in mind, Gucci was in the front. Castro was in the chase. Shoulder shrug. What's the body English? What are you reading?
I think there's not that there's any bad blood here, but there's definitely some competition of
yeah, they're trying to win.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, why did you slow down? And it's like, why did you hit me? Gucci went neutral. He just starts to accelerate here, but look at Gucci, almost looks like he's unwinding. That's what I was getting at.
But look at Castro's angle too. Now, again, I'm not pointing. This is purely observational. When they go into that second inside clip, Castro didn't have the mimicking angle that Gucci did. He kind of beelined that transition 1 to 2, talking about the inside in the power alley.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Castro was unwinding the car out. I get what you're saying, that the angle was different, the speed was different, but it's it's really interesting. So now they're trying to understand what all damages wise happened to the car. To me, it kind of looked like Gucci was unwinding at that point, but tough to say because Castro was on it, man. Castro was expecting a lot of speed out of Gucci and really firing things in there. And look at these fans are pumped though.
All right. Taking a look at that.
All right, let's see again. So great transition here from Castro. Gucci at angle. That's tough. I see both sides. It does. It does look like Gucci is coming out of angle a bit, but I
Oh,
think
look at
that's
this.
him.
So we're finding out Gucci's team reported track staff that his transmission did break. So he is telling that the transmission broke. So it did look like potentially in that lead position, he did shut it down. So that would mean that Jonathan Castro gets the win. So again, in that scenario, Gucci was in the transmission break.
Alright, you two, so basically it was Chris's fault. He messed up on the contribution. Hey, so what happened was, you know what I'm saying, the boy went downshift and then went from 4th to 5 neutral. If you guys are staying at our hotel, go ahead and put all the room service. Put the room service on Martin's tab. He said Martin, is that all right? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Heard it here first.
Omit what Jeff
R.
just
Kelly-
said.
R. Kelly
Omit
is,
everything that Jeff just said. Yes.
When Martin is not looking, we're gonna go ahead and show you a surprise. We stashed water in the trunk of his. He only wanted to take 2 cases, but he's got 6.
He's going. All
right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Hold up.
We got him stocked up.
Got your ass.
Sorry, not sorry. You're welcome for all the water. Hey, close this.
You better close that shit. You better close it.
Blur out the plate here. This is a G-Wagon G350.
Nah, dog, no, that's a Glock 3.
That's a Glock
350.
Then, as this is the G-Wagon, Martin, he owns a bank and his wife just works for him there.
What did you say?
I said Martin owned the whole bank. I said you just work there.
Well, he was my manager.
Was your manager?
Now I'm the manager.
Oh.
I'm the manager now.
Of the kitchen.
Shout the season,
All right, that is a wrap for Formula Drift Round 3 Orlando. Unfortunately, we got knocked out in the top 16 due to some mechanical issues, but this weekend overall, I think proved that our car is extremely competitive. Unfortunately, we had 2 transmissions, 2 black Samsonas go out, 1 during practice, and then 1 in the main competition that took us out of competition, which is quite unfortunate. But other than that, I think we had a car that was pretty dialed. Jeff and the boys did a pretty good job getting the car ready for me every run. I honestly didn't have to worry about the car whatsoever going into competition, and yeah, we had the pace, we had the power, the response, a few minor changes and upgrades from Long Beach to Atlanta to Orlando here. But I think now that everything is settled, a lot of the weak points are starting to surface, and one of them being the transmission. So we will be rebuilding 2 Samsonas going into New Jersey.
We will rebuild.
We will rebuild.
We will adapt.
We will
overcome.
rejoice.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the car is pretty solid. It's just unfortunate that it happened in the top 16. We had a pretty good run against Castro, who ended up taking 2nd place in the podium today in front of his home crowd. But yeah. It was a tough weekend. A lot of rain delays, lightning holds, track cleanups. I think we only got like 5 practice within the 12 that we were accommodated.
Oil spilled all over the track.
Oil spill.
Very first session in the first, I think 4 or 5 battles.
Yeah, we got 2 laps in 2 sessions, which is unheard of.
And same with today, because we had that clamp. We had
and
that clamp
then
coming up.
today
We only did 2 runs,
well,
I think, right?
I mean, that was probably user error on my end because I was the one that last touched the clamp yesterday. I didn't think you knew that, but yeah, I was the one that touched it.
No, I was just going to blame it on Chris, honestly, because he's not here to defend himself, so we were just going to put that on him. But yeah.
otherwise, solid weekend. Not a very solid result, but
Yeah, I think we're finally at the max capacity for
exactly.
the standard Samsonas. They do make a RS90 gearbox, which is a little bit stronger. I don't know how much stronger it is, but I do believe it has stronger gear sets. But I don't think we're having a gear strength issue. It seems to be the needle bearing on the input.
yeah, both transmissions, the needle bearing went out on the front cover where it holds the drop gear.
Yeah.
And because the needle bearing exploded, all the shrapnel went through the transmission, blew through the gears. Same case, same scenario on both transmissions. So it was a fun but very expensive weekend for us.
Good results, competition-wise. Bad results, liability-wise.
Mechanical-wise. But we're in high spirits. We're looking forward to rebuilding the car, getting back together for New Jersey, and hopefully finishing a lot higher than top 16, because Long Beach top 16, Atlanta top 16, Orlando top 16. I just want to finally break away from top 16 curse and make it onto the podium.
But see, like, just like I was saying a little while ago, that Hiro Minoa is a bad son of a gun. Look what he just did.
3M, it is the one, the only, Hiroya Minoa! Big Mike!
The kid's 15.
You mentioned how you said number one, how he said he was going for it.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly the whole thing he said, but this kid basically was like, I'm gonna whoop y'all's ass by saying Ichiban, which means number one. And then this was in like top 8, and he was like, yeah, let me show y'all. And then now he won the goddamn thing. But the coolest thing is, last event at Formula Drift Japan, he actually took first place in that round, and he actually defeated Ken in the top 8 battle. But the round before that of FDJ, Ken and him went up against first and second place, and then Ken beat him. So it's freaking tight, dude. This kid's ridiculous. But it's awesome to see, like, goddamn, he's kind of like a prodigy, you know? He's not even like your regular drift kid. Like, his mom and his dad both compete, or used to compete. I don't know. Now they're focused on his career. And so they used to compete, and I mean, now you get this little monster, you know? And he's literally wiping the floor with everyone. So congratulations to him and his family and their team. And yeah, man, we'll see you later. Subscribe, do all them liking and comments and stuff. Hey, give us a little criticism too. Like, if there's like not enough lighting or something, I need to, do some powder on my face or something, just let me know. Let your boy know. Peace.